What's up, everybody? Welcome back with more bolt action here and more looks at the Market Garden campaign. So we're moving right along here. Scenario 10, Frost's Attack, follow the Brawly. So another fun one here, unique experience to test out with these scenarios. So by the evening of September 17th, Frost's force had taken positions at the north end of the bridge, but the other was still held in German hands, although Frost's battalion had been joined by the 1st Parachute Brigade HQ and a number of Royal Engineers to bring the force to a little over 700 men. He could not afford to make a major attack for fear of heavy losses that might just compromise the ability to hold the perimeter that they had already established. Equally, couldn't ignore the possibility that a modest attack might be enough to bring the far end of the bridge under their control. So accordingly, he decided to try and secure the south end by means of a stealthy night attack, which would start with an attempt to use a flamethrower, of all things, to deal with the German pillbox dominating the roadway. So the forces in this one, you have 2 full-strength British platoons, and a flamethrower team must endeavor to secure the south end against 4 6-man sections, each with an LMG, SMG, and 3 riflemen, and a 2-man command group for the Germans. The British player must use the standard complement of British parachute platoons, but may choose to have SMGs for a maximum of 3 men in each section, and for all members of the command groups. This is not an equal point scenario, so keep that in mind, at the outset of that. It's based on the size of the German force that Frost's men were facing, and the scale of the force that Frost could afford to commit without risking major damage to his command. So the setup for this, then, is that we don't need to have a model of a bridge or a river here, just an 8-inch wide road with 1-inch wide pedestrian paths on either side. And these are then divided from the road by parapets. The parapets of the pedestrian way provide hard cover if they interrupt lines of sight from the enemy. The curve of the roadway obscured the line of sight from the German positions to the center of the bridge, and the attack took place at night. The defenders were unable to see the British until they were within 100 yards, so the table is only 4 foot long with the pillbox and breastwork positions 12 inches from the German end of the table. So taking a quick look at that here and kind of how they have that set up for us. So the Allied deployment point here, and then a couple of breastworks for the Germans, and then that pillbox, and of course nice if you have some terrain to represent that. So as far as deployment goes, one German squad must start the game in the pillbox, obviously, and then the other in the sandbag breastworks. All German units start the game with ambush orders and therefore can't move until turn 2. So then, continuing on, what is the objective for this one? So the Brits must secure the south end of the bridge, of course, by destroying all the German guard units, and then the Germans want to prevent that, of course. First turn here, so at least 1 complete platoon of the British force must enter the table at the north end in turn 1. The balance of the force is subject to the usual bolt action procedures for reinforcements. And then the game duration, so this is nice because, again, not really much required in the way of setup if you have just some of those basic terrain elements. But as it says here, it's a quick one. The British can't risk heavy losses from a prolonged firefight, so the game is limited to 4 turns. That will definitely play pretty quickly. If they haven't destroyed the defenders by that point, the attack is abandoned, and hence they don't win. So victory conditions then specifically, the British obviously have to secure the bridge to secure a victory, but the Germans can still force a draw by inflicting a loss of 3 or more units on the British. So, and with those various LMGs, again, the smart move there would be to just concentrate fire on 1 British unit at a time, and with the German LLCs, but LMGs, really you should be able to whittle them down, hopefully, and get those wonderful casualties. So an overall fun, quick scenario that can be modified in different ways for different theaters as well. So let us know in the comments, guys, what you think of this one, and like and subscribe, and we'll have plenty more for you in the next one here for Market Garden and Bolt Action.